So, Sarah, can I be totally honest with you for a second?
Uh-oh. Yeah, what's up?
This morning, my coffee machine broke, my car wouldn't start, and I stepped in a puddle on my way here. But you know what? I'm actually having a great day.
Wait, what? Mike, how is that even possible? That sounds like a terrible morning.
Exactly. And that, my friends, is exactly what we're talking about today. Hey everyone, welcome to Fluentx English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sarah. And oh my goodness, you guys. Today's topic is something I desperately needed to learn because, confession time, I used to be the queen of complaining.
Used to be? Sarah, last week you complained about the weather for like 20 minutes.
Okay, fair point. But that's why this topic is so important. Because here's the thing. We all have problems, right? Life is full of challenges, frustrations, annoying situations, but there's a huge difference between sharing your problems and just complaining.
Absolutely. And in English, this difference is massive because if you complain too much, people start avoiding you. But if you share your problems in the right way, people actually want to help you. They feel closer to you. They respect you more.
Right? It's like the same problem, but two completely different reactions depending on how you talk about it.
Exactly. So today, we're diving deep into how to talk about your problems without complaining. And trust me, this is going to change the way you communicate in English.
And guys, this isn't just about language. This is about mindset, about emotional intelligence, about becoming someone people actually enjoy talking to.
Yes. Now, before we jump in, if you're enjoying this already, go ahead and smash that like button. It really helps us out and lets us know you want more content like this.
And if you're new to Fluentx English, welcome. We're so excited to have you here. We upload videos every single day to help you master English in real, practical, fun ways.
So hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because you don't want to miss what we've got coming up.
All right, deep breath, everyone. Let's do this. Okay, Mike, let's start with something important. What exactly is the difference between talking about a problem and complaining? Because sometimes I honestly can't tell.
Ooh, great question. So here's how I see it. Complaining is when you talk about a problem with no intention of solving it or learning from it. You're just venting over and over, focusing on how bad things are.
Okay, so it's like wallowing in the negativity.
Exactly. Like imagine someone who says, "Ugh, my job is so terrible. My boss is horrible. Everything is awful." But then when you ask, "Well, are you looking for a new job?" They say, "Nah, I'm just stuck here forever." That's complaining.
Oh, wow, yeah. Because they're not trying to change anything, they're just dumping negativity.
Right. But now imagine someone says, I'm really struggling with my current job situation. My boss and I don't see eye to eye, and I'm starting to think this role isn't the right fit for me. I'm actually updating my resume and looking at other options. See the difference?
Oh, absolutely. The second person is sharing a real problem, but they're also showing awareness and taking action.
Exactly, and that's the key. When you talk about problems constructively, you're not just dumping negativity, you're seeking perspective, solutions, support, or just healthy processing.
Okay, I love that distinction. But Mike, here's my struggle. Sometimes I just need to vent. Like, sometimes I just want someone to listen and say, yeah, that sucks, you know?
Oh, Sarah, I totally get it. And venting is actually healthy. The problem isn't venting itself, it's chronic complaining without ever moving forward.
Oh, so venting is okay as long as it's not your default mode.
Exactly. In fact, let me teach you something cool. In English, there's actually a polite way to ask for permission to vent. You can say to someone, "Hey, can I just vent for a minute? I don't need advice. I just need to get this off my chest."
Wait, really? You can just ask like that?
Yes, and you know what? Most people appreciate the honesty because now they know you're not looking for solutions, you just need someone to listen. It sets expectations.
That's brilliant, because then they don't feel pressured to fix everything, they just listen.
Exactly. And here's another phrase. I just need to rant for a second. Is that okay? Or even, I'm frustrated right now. Can I share what happened?
Ooh, I like those. They're so considerate. You're basically warning the person, you know?
Exactly. And then here's the important part. You vent for a few minutes, you get it out, and then you say something like, okay, thanks for letting me get that out. I feel better now. Or, all right, enough negativity. Let's talk about something else.
Oh, so you're not trapping them in an endless complaint session.
Exactly. You're being respectful of their time and energy. Because here's the truth. Nobody wants to be someone's emotional dumping ground.
So true. Okay, so we've established that venting is fine occasionally, but chronic complaining is not. Now, let's talk about how to actually talk about real problems in a constructive way.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to give you a framework. It's super simple and you can use it in almost any situation. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, so when you need to talk about a problem, follow this structure: situation, impact, feelings, next steps. Let me break that down.
Ooh, I like frameworks. Okay, explain.
All right, so first, situation. You clearly describe what happened without drama or exaggeration, just the facts. Like, my car broke down on the way to work today, instead of, oh my God, my stupid car always breaks down. Nothing ever works. My life is a disaster.
Okay, so no catastrophizing.
Exactly. Keep it factual. Then, impact. Explain how this problem actually affects you or others. Like, because my car broke down, I missed an important meeting and had to reschedule 3 appointments.
Right, so you're showing the real consequences, not just whining.
Yes. Then, feelings. And this is important. You acknowledge your emotions without being dramatic. You can say, I'm really frustrated and stressed about this, or I felt embarrassed missing that meeting.
Okay, so you're being honest about feelings, but not over the top.
Exactly. And then finally, next steps. This is crucial. You talk about what you're doing or planning to do about it. Like, I'm going to take my car to the mechanic this afternoon and also look into getting a backup transportation option.
Oh, I see. So you're ending on action and solutions, not just leaving it at everything is terrible.
Exactly. And you know what happens when you use this framework? People actually want to help you. They might offer advice, share resources, or just support you because they see you're being proactive.
That makes so much sense. Okay, let me try an example. Okay, so let's say I'm struggling with learning English grammar. Using your framework, I could say, situation. I've been studying English grammar for months, but I still make mistakes with tenses. Impact. This makes me feel less confident when speaking, especially in professional settings. Feelings. I'm frustrated with myself and sometimes feel discouraged. Next steps. I'm planning to work with a tutor and practice more consistently every day. How's that?
That's perfect. See how different that sounds from, ugh, English grammar's impossible, I'll never get it, why is it so hard, I give up.
Yeah, the first one makes people want to encourage me or help me. The second one just drains everyone's energy.
Exactly. All right, so now let's talk about language, specific phrases you can use when talking about problems that sound mature and constructive instead of whiny and complainy.
Yes, please, because sometimes I know what I want to say, but the words just come out wrong.
Totally. Okay, so first category, instead of saying, this is so unfair, try saying, I'm finding this situation challenging, or this is tougher than I expected.
Ooh, those sound so much more mature.
Right? And instead of saying, nothing ever goes right for me, try, I've been dealing with some setbacks lately, or I'm going through a rough patch right now.
Rough patch. I like that phrase.
It's great because it acknowledges difficulty without being dramatic. And here's another one. Instead of, everyone is against me, try, I'm feeling a bit misunderstood lately, or I'm having trouble seeing eye to eye with some people.
Oh, those are so much better. They're honest, but not victim-y.
Exactly. And instead of my life is a disaster, try I'm juggling a lot right now, or things have been overwhelming lately.
Yes, these phrases acknowledge the struggle without catastrophizing.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Native English speakers can instantly tell the difference between mature problem sharing and immature complaining based on the language you use.
Really? It's that noticeable?
Oh, absolutely. If someone uses dramatic black and white language like always, never, everyone, no one, red flags immediately. But if they use nuanced language like sometimes, lately, in this situation, I've noticed, people take them more seriously.
That's such a good point. Okay, what about body language and tone? Because I feel like that matters too, right?
Oh, Sarah, huge. You could say the exact right words, but if your tone is whiny or your body language is defeated, it still comes across as complaining.
So how should we sound when talking about problems?
Okay, so aim for calm and matter of fact, not overly emotional, not flat and monotone, just balanced, like you're explaining a situation, not performing a tragedy.
Haha, okay, so don't be dramatic.
Right, and maintain eye contact. Keep your posture neutral. Maybe even have a slight smile if appropriate. Show that yes, you're dealing with something difficult, but you're not falling apart.
So you're projecting resilience even while acknowledging struggle.
Exactly, and people respect that so much more than someone who seems helpless and defeated.
Okay, I'm learning so much. But Mike, let's address something real. What if you're going through something genuinely difficult? Like, what if it's not just a minor inconvenience, but a real hardship?
Such an important question, because we're not saying you should minimize real pain or pretend everything is fine when it's not.
Right, because that would be fake and unhealthy.
Exactly. So here's what you do. When something is genuinely hard, you can absolutely be honest about that, but you focus on seeking support rather than just dumping negativity. You might say, I'm going through a really difficult time right now and I could use some support. Or, this has been one of the hardest periods of my life and I'm working on getting through it day by day.
Oh, so you're still being honest and vulnerable, but you're also showing you're actively coping.
Yes. And you know what? When people hear that, they usually respond with genuine care and offers to help. But when people just hear endless complaining with no acknowledgement of effort or progress, they start to pull away.
That makes sense. Okay, so let's talk about timing and frequency, because I think this matters too. Like, if you talk about your problems every single time you see someone, that's probably too much, right?
Oh, absolutely. Nobody wants every conversation to be a therapy session.
Right? So what's the balance?
Okay, so here's a good rule, the 80-20 rule. In your conversations, aim for 80% positive, neutral, or constructive content and only about 20% problem sharing.
Ooh, I like that. So most of the time you're being pleasant and engaging, and occasionally you share struggles.
Exactly. And this doesn't mean you're being fake or hiding your real life. It just means you're not making every conversation about what's wrong.
Right, because you're a whole person, not just a collection of problems.
Exactly. And actually, Sarah, this connects to something really important about English-speaking culture.
Oh, what's that?
In many English-speaking cultures, especially American culture, there's an expectation of optimism and solution orientation, like people appreciate resilience and positive attitudes.
So even when things are hard, there's pressure to stay upbeat?
Kind of, yeah. But it's not about being fake positive. It's more about showing that you're handling things, you're working on solutions, you're not giving up. That's valued.
Interesting, because in some cultures, it might be more acceptable to really express suffering and struggle openly.
Exactly. And that's not wrong, it's just different. But if you're speaking English and interacting with native speakers, understanding this cultural expectation helps you communicate more effectively.
That's such a good point. Okay, Mike, I think we need to pause and recap before moving to part 2 because we've covered so much.
Agreed. All right, everyone, here's what we've learned in part 1. Complaining is talking about problems without seeking solutions or taking action. Venting is okay occasionally if you ask permission first and keep it brief. When talking about problems, use the framework of situation, impact, feelings, and next steps. Choose mature language over dramatic language. Pay attention to your tone and body language. Follow the 80-20 rule, and understand that English-speaking cultures often value optimism and solution orientation.
Perfect summary. And remember, guys, this isn't about being fake or pretending you don't have problems. It's about communicating those problems in a way that invites support instead of pushing people away.
Exactly. All right, let's move into part 2, where we're going to tackle specific scenarios and give you even more practical tools.
Welcome back, everyone. All right, Mike, part 2. Let's get super practical. I want real scenarios that people face every day.
Perfect. Okay, scenario number 1, work problems, because this is huge. So many people struggle with how to talk about work issues without sounding like they're just whining about their job.
Oh, yes, because there's a fine line between legitimate workplace concerns and just being that person who hates their job.
Exactly. So here's how you handle this. If you're talking to a coworker or friend about a work problem, be specific and solution-focused. Instead of saying, "My boss is such a jerk. He never listens to me. Everything about this place is awful." Try this. "I'm having some challenges with communication at work. My manager and I seem to have different working styles, and I'm trying to figure out how to bridge that gap. Have you ever dealt with something similar?"
Ooh, I love that. Because you're being honest about the struggle, but you're also asking for perspective and showing you're trying to improve things.
Exactly. And notice how I turned it into a question at the end? That's a great technique. Instead of just dumping your problems, you invite dialogue and maybe even solutions.
Right. Okay, what if the work problem is more serious? Like, what if you're genuinely being treated unfairly or there's real toxicity?
Good question. So in those cases, you still want to be factual and specific, but you can acknowledge the severity. You might say, "I'm dealing with some concerning issues at work that are affecting my well-being. I've documented specific incidents, and I'm exploring my options, including potentially talking to HR or looking for new opportunities. I'd appreciate any advice or support."
Okay, so you're being serious and direct, but you're also showing you're not just passive, you're taking action.
Exactly. And that last part, "I'd appreciate any advice or support," that's key. You're making it clear what you need from the conversation.
Love that. Okay, scenario 2, relationship problems. Oh boy, this one can get messy.
Yes, it can. All right, so whether it's romantic relationships, friendships, or family issues, the key is respecting privacy while still getting support.
Right, because you don't want to trash talk someone or share too many personal details.
Exactly. So here's the approach. Focus on your feelings and your experience rather than attacking the other person. Instead of, "My friend is so selfish. She never thinks about anyone but herself. I can't believe she did this to me." Try, "I'm feeling hurt by a recent situation with a friend. I feel like my needs weren't considered, and I'm trying to figure out how to address it with her."
Oh, that's so much better. You're owning your feelings without making the other person the villain.
Exactly, and it leaves room for complexity and multiple perspectives. Another great phrase is, "I'm navigating some tension in a relationship right now, and I'm not sure how to move forward."
Navigating tension. That sounds so mature and thoughtful.
Right? And here's a pro tip. When talking about relationship problems, especially with mutual friends, avoid the temptation to recruit people to your side. Don't try to make everyone hate the person you're having issues with.
Oh gosh, yes, I've seen that happen, and it just creates more drama.
Exactly. Instead, you can say something like, "I know you're friends with both of us, so I don't want to put you in an awkward position. I just need someone to talk to right now."
That's so considerate. You're acknowledging the complexity of the situation.
Exactly. All right, scenario 3, health problems. This one's tricky because health issues are serious, but you also don't want to become the person who constantly talks about their ailments.
Right, because especially as you get older, health stuff comes up more, but you don't want every conversation to be about doctor's appointments and medications.
Exactly. So here's the balance. If someone asks how you are and you're dealing with a health issue, you can briefly mention it, but then redirect. Like, I'm managing a health issue right now, but I'm working with a good doctor and staying positive. How are you doing?
Ooh, I like that. You acknowledge it without dwelling on it.
Exactly. And if you need more support, you can have a deeper conversation with close friends or family. But even then, focus on facts and your coping strategies. Like, I was diagnosed with X condition last month. It's been an adjustment, but I'm learning a lot about managing it and feeling more in control now.
Right, so you're being honest, but also showing resilience.
Yes, and here's something important. Avoid the organ recital.
What?
The organ recital. It's when someone lists every single thing wrong with them. My back hurts, my knee is acting up, I have a headache, my stomach's been weird, my eyes are tired. Like nobody needs all that detail.
Oh my gosh, I know people who do that.
We all do, so just don't be that person. If you're not feeling well, say, I'm a bit under the weather today, or I'm dealing with some health stuff, but I'm hanging in there, and move on.
Perfect. Okay, scenario 4, financial problems. Because money stress is real, but talking about money can be so awkward in English.
Oh, absolutely. Money is a sensitive topic. So here's how to navigate this. First, consider your audience. Close friends and family, you can be more open. Casual acquaintances, keep it vague.
Right, like you're not telling your coworker your bank account balance.
Exactly. So if you're struggling financially, with trusted people, you can say, I'm going through a tight financial period right now, so I'm being careful with expenses. Maybe we could do something free or low cost to hang out.
Ooh, that's good. You're being honest and also proposing solutions.
Exactly. And notice you're not saying, I'm broke, I'm poor, I can't afford anything. You're framing it as a temporary situation that you're actively managing.
Right, and offering alternatives shows you still want to connect, just in a budget-friendly way.
Exactly. Another phrase, I'm focusing on some financial goals right now, so I'm being more mindful about spending.
Oh, I like that, because it sounds intentional and positive, not desperate.
Exactly. And here's what you avoid. Don't constantly complain about the cost of things. Don't make every group hangout awkward by saying you can't afford it. And definitely don't borrow money while constantly complaining about being broke.
Yeah, that's a bad look.
Right. If you need to borrow money, that's a separate, serious conversation, not something you bring up while complaining.
Got it. Okay, Mike, let's talk about something super important. What if someone else is complaining to you? Like, how do you respond when someone's dumping all their negativity on you?
Ooh, great question, because this happens all the time. Okay, so you have a few options depending on the situation. Option 1, if it's someone you care about having a genuinely hard time, you can listen with empathy, but also gently guide them towards solutions. You might say, that sounds really tough. I'm sorry you're going through that. Have you thought about what you might do next?
Okay, so you're validating their feelings, but also nudging them toward action.
Exactly. Option 2, if it's someone who chronically complains and you're getting drained, you can set boundaries. You might say, I hear you and I want to support you, but I'm not sure how to help when we keep having the same conversation. What would actually make this better?
Ooh, that's direct, but fair.
Right. And option 3, if it's a casual acquaintance or coworker who's just dumping negativity, you can politely redirect, like, that sounds frustrating. Hey, I actually need to get back to work, but I hope things improve.
So you're acknowledging them, but also ending the conversation.
Exactly. You're not being rude, you're just protecting your energy.
Love that. Okay, let's talk about social media because, Mike, I see so much complaining online.
Oh my gosh, yes. Social media is like complaining central.
Right? So what's the etiquette there?
All right, so here's my take. Posting occasionally about challenges you're facing is fine, especially if you're asking for advice or resources. But if your entire feed is just negativity and complaints, people start muting or unfollowing.
Yeah, because it's just draining.
Exactly. So the same rules apply. Be honest, but balanced. Focus on solutions or lessons learned, and for every post about a problem, try to have several posts about positive or neutral things.
The 80-20 rule again.
Exactly. And here's a big one. Avoid vague booking. You know what I mean? Those posts that say, worst day ever, or I can't believe this happened, but don't actually explain what happened.
Oh, I hate those. It's like they're fishing for attention.
Exactly. If you're going to share a problem, either share enough context that people can actually support you, or don't post at all. Vague booking just seems manipulative.
So true. Okay, let's wrap this up with some final advanced tips. What are your top strategies for becoming someone who handles problems gracefully in English?
Ooh, okay. Number 1, develop a solutions vocabulary. Learn phrases like, I'm working on it. I'm exploring options. I'm taking steps to address this. I've learned from this experience. These phrases show proactive thinking.
Love that.
Number 2, practice gratitude framing. This means when you talk about a problem, also acknowledge what's going well or what you're grateful for. Like, work has been stressful lately, but I'm grateful for supportive colleagues. Or, this health issue is challenging, but I'm thankful for good medical care.
Ooh, that's powerful because it shows perspective.
Exactly, and it keeps you from falling into pure negativity. Number 3, use humor when appropriate. Sometimes a lighthearted comment about your struggles can make them easier to talk about. Like, well, that was a disaster. But hey, at least I'll have a good story to tell.
Yes, humor can really lighten heavy topics.
Absolutely. And my final tip, know when to seek professional help. If you're constantly overwhelmed by problems, talking to a therapist or counselor isn't complaining, it's taking care of yourself.
Such an important point. Okay, my turn. My tips, number 1, develop emotional awareness. Before you share a problem, ask yourself, what do I need from this conversation? Am I looking for advice, validation, or just someone to listen? Knowing this helps you communicate better.
Great tip.
Number 2, practice the pause. Before you launch into problem mode, take a breath and consider if this is the right time, place, and person to share with. Not every problem needs to be shared with everyone.
So important.
Number 3, balance your conversations. If you've been talking about problems for a while, intentionally shift to positive topics. Ask the other person about their life. Share something good that happened. Lighten the mood.
Yes.
And finally, track your growth. Notice when you handle problems more gracefully than before. Celebrate those moments. You're developing emotional maturity and better communication skills.
Such good advice, Sarah. All right, everyone, we've covered so much today, from understanding the difference between complaining and constructive problem sharing, to specific phrases and scenarios, to social media etiquette, and everything in between.
And remember, this skill takes practice. You're not going to be perfect overnight, and that's okay. The goal is progress, not perfection.
Exactly. And here's your homework. This week, when you face a problem, try using the framework we taught you: situation, impact, feelings, next steps. Even if it's just in your head, practice that structure.
Yes, and pay attention to your language. Are you using dramatic words like always, never, everyone? Or are you using more nuanced language like sometimes, lately, in certain situations?
Perfect. All right, if you found this helpful, please hit that like button and drop a comment below telling us what's one phrase you're going to start using when talking about problems.
Yes, we want to hear from you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We're dropping new English learning content every single day.
Turn on those notifications so you never miss an upload. We're here to help you become confident, articulate, emotionally intelligent English speakers.
All right, friends, until next time, remember, it's okay to have problems. It's okay to talk about them. Just do it with grace and intention.
Beautifully said. We'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.
Bye, guys.
See you soon.